Hey guys, this is my attempt at a podcast, I guess. Um, Ignore my closet, ignore my little spiritual. Actually, don't ignore it. Take it all in. That's my closet. That's my little spiritual center. It's my dresser right there. There's my posters on the wall. I'm wearing my Eastern t-shirt, reppin'. This is the cutest one I could find on the store because I was like, I don't like how that black E looks. I thought it was ugly because I don't like black letters. Black letters, I think they're ugly. So I got this. I think it's really pretty. The back has. Oh, just kidding. The back doesn't have anything. Fuck me. It doesn't have anything on it, but it's very cute. This shirt is cute. And so I don't know what this is going to be about yet, but if you know me, you know I've wanted to make a podcast for a while because damn do I like to hear myself talk. And but today is what day is today? Today is July 17th of 2021. And I'm about to start college. I just became a vegan. I've been vegan for 2 days now, literally 2 days. But it feels great. I literally love it. It's fantastic. And at this point, I'm maybe this will just be for me. Maybe I'll share it with people. But I do like hearing myself talk. I like my voice. I like my character, my personality. If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to watch this. But I'm here for me. I'm living my life. So I'm having a cup of coffee in a strong as a mother cup that I got from my mom, but I'm using it. And I look great. I feel great. And I'm just gonna let this roll while I think of something because I want to let the vibes come. But what I was going to say actually is that right now I want to be a midwife. That's my goal. And I don't like thinking of it as a goal because then that scares me and it makes me think that it's not something that's going to happen. It makes me think that it's out of my reach. Because when people talk about their goals or their dreams, they talk about it as though they're things that are not going to happen. And to me, I don't see being a midwife, being an out of hospital, deindustrialized, demedicalized, not demedicalized isn't the right word, deindustrialized, and anti-racist, anti-misogynist, decapitalist midwife, all of the great things I want to be as a midwife. I don't see that as a goal, or I don't see it as a dream. I see it as a journey. I see it as my path that I was put on this earth to do. And there are things I'm gonna do on the way to doing that, maybe it'll change. Like, I have that acceptance in my heart that it might change if the universe guides me that way. By the way, we will get into universe talk. We will get into spirituality. Don't worry. Don't you worry. But being a midwife, being, all of those things I said about being my kind of midwife, I don't want to say it's a goal because I don't want to give it a name, or I don't want to give it a label like goal that could be interpreted by someone or by anyone or by the universe as something that I have there is any wiggle room, because that is what I'm going to do. That is where I am headed. You know, every step I take, that is where I'm headed. Because when you find a purpose, it's really cool. And when you get to like tell people about it, I've had a lot of new conversations with people about being a midwife and deindustrialized midwifery, and the journey I have taken of like of how I previously wanted to be an OBGYN and how I wanted to work in the medical field and how I wanted to get an MD, and how that actually transformed into wanting to do what I want to do now, which is receive my CPM from a direct entry midwifery school, which I can eventually do an episode. Is that what I'm doing? This is so off the rails. What is this, Ameera? I don't think anyone is gonna watch this, but I find this really fun, so I'm gonna talk about these videos however I want to. They're gonna be episodes, okay? Moving on. I can do an episode on my midwifery plans if anyone wants me to. So yeah. But I was actually just talking to a friend, someone I really admire, in a group that I'm in. His name is Shane, and he was really fascinated by what I was telling him, and it was so great to share that with someone. And he just listened and was asking me like follow-up questions, and it felt really great to share that, because honestly, everyone I tell this to is really fascinated by it, and not a lot of people know about midwifery, and a lot of people think it's like a weird hippie thing. It is a weird hippie thing. No, I take that back. I said it, but in some respects, from some vantage points, it's a weird hippie thing, but I embrace the weird hippie thing. But also, it's necessary. And actually, I kind of want to touch on the weird hippie thing that I just said. Midwifery has been a thing since the beginning of time. And also, in America, it was brought to America, not brought to, it began in the United States, what is now considered the United States. It was already here because indigenous women did it, and it was brought here by enslaved Black women, enslaved African women, and only then did white women start doing it. So only in about maybe the last 100 years, and actually not even that long ago, maybe in the last 50 years, since the 70s, when white midwives started resurging in the mainstream again, when they started getting degrees again, when they started practicing again, then that is kind of when it started getting the hippie thing label. And so there is me educating myself, speaking on what I've said, and keeping people in the know about what I am saying, because it's important to know that many of the things that we say have deeper meanings than what we think, and many of the things that we practice and that we do in the mainstream did not start with us being white people. And I take that with a grain of salt, because my family is not all white, but I still present as white, and I still look white. Same thing. I still sound white. I still I still have the privileges of a white person. So this episode took this episode took a more heavier turn. But with that said, I do very much want to talk about this stuff, and because I have a lot to say, and if anyone has stuff they want to say, I'll hear it, because this is fun. This is really fun for me, just talking to myself in this camera. And I have a lot of knowledge, I'll be honest. I'll toot my own horn. I've read a lot of stuff specifically about midwifery. I'm not going to say I know a lot about other stuff, but I've spent a lot of time on Twitter in the last year during quarantine. Twitter has taught me a lot of stuff. Those Twitter threads, they will teach you a lot of things. So I would love to share things. I'd also like to talk about myself. I'd also like to talk about my poetry, my writing, my spirituality. And so I'm going to do that here. And I don't really care if anyone watches it or not. But feel free to watch it. Feel free to do whatever you want with it. And yeah, bye. Love ya.